connected with you. Our commitment, the news, weather, and traffic you trust.
The entire building was evacuated.
I don't think this is a great idea.
Some of the juveniles are actually out committing crime.
For the latest in-depth teen coverage, depend on News Radio 700 WLW.
This is Gary Burbank along with Duke, and Seg is running around doing a lot of footwork right now in sports. I don't know if he's going to have a chance to come in here, but I have to tell you something. I guess it was John London on Channel 5 and talking to Joe Nuxhall, asked him if he had been forced out. Joe said yes.
He said he
didn't know who did it exactly, but he knew it was not John Allen. And that some misguided, and Joe didn't say this is not Joe talking now, but evidently it may be true that some misguided soul, and I'm using that as a euphemism for moron, would have actually decided, some executive who should not have made that kind of decision would make a decision that Joe Nuxhall should not be on the broadcast with the Reds.
doesn't seem very wise, does it?
I can't imagine anybody being that stupid, and I have to question anybody being that stupid. I mean, can you imagine somebody doing that? I mean, we've got some around here. There's some pretty lightweight executives, right? But these guys are smart enough to know, it seems like. I'm talking about, not especially here, but you know some people like that. They made their way at a cocktail party. They look really good on the golf course.
You see them everywhere.
Yeah, and they're promoted, and they rise above their competency level. But most of these people are wise enough to not make executive decisions because they're not capable. And evidently this person made it where he is and made this kind of a decision. Can you possibly give me a reason? Just give me one reason why you would not want Joe Nuxhall on a broadcast of the Cincinnati Reds. A man that, by anyone's measurement, is undoubtedly the most loved athlete or past athlete, somebody broadcast, whatever, in this entire city. I can't think of anyone. Can you think of someone that's like more than Joe Nuxhall?
No, I can't.
I can't either. So let's say you've got a guy sitting behind a desk. I've got to make a decision. My decision is to get rid of Joe Nuxhall. Now, what could have possibly brought that on?
That's a great question. It really is. I mean,
what went through this man's head, if he has anything between his ears, that would actually make this kind of a decision? I mean, should he be given a sanity test? And I don't see how he can possibly pass it. And should he be put away somewhere? I mean, we've got a person running around out there making a decision like that. Should a person like this be allowed on the streets of Cincinnati?
Well, if it's one person, how did it go this far?
How could it possibly have happened? I don't know.
Even incompetent people usually have a few competent people around them who stop them from completely screwing something up. You'd hope.
You would think there would be someone there would say, okay, now, this guy is very well loved. Our team, let's face it, our Cincinnati Reds, our beloved, scrappy young Cincinnati Reds, are not doing so well. So what do we have going in our favor? What do we have in our favor? We have Marty Brenneman and Joe Nuxhall. So that'll keep people coming back. I'll guarantee you this radio station loves having Joe Nuxhall on because he's on almost every night at 10 till 6 with me. And believe me, we love having him on here. There is not a soul in this building that would tell you, no, I want Joe Nuxhall off. We would love to have him on longer than that. In fact, if Joe wants to do this show 3 to 6 with us, we'd be glad to sit right down there and have you with us every day.
Would that be great?
Yeah, absolutely. So how in the world, how in heaven's name, I can't think the right euphemism. I'm just astounded that someone would make that decision. I'd heard that before, and I dismissed it.
Yeah, there were rumblings about it.
Yeah, I thought, no way possible that somebody can be that stupid and be in a position to make it happen. And that's a key word. Be that stupid and somehow have made it to a position to make that happen. And now here's
because that's a powerful. What you're saying is it's a powerful position to be in to be able to unilaterally do that.
So, okay, I need to get a traffic report. We're going to come back. We're going to talk some more about this. I'll give you what information that I have on this, but the news is coming out now. And if you've got some kind of a comment, I mean, you don't have to call me and tell me I know you love Joe. I know you love Joe. I don't know, maybe you know something, whatever, I don't know. But we'll talk about this. In the meantime, we'll take a look at traffic on 700 WLW. And here is Chuck Ingram. Chuck. Hi, this is Gary Burbank and Duke Sinatra. And, boy, my head is kind of spinning right now. Let me give you, if you just joined us, what I just found out. Channel 5, John London talking to Joe Nuxhall. Joe says London asked, evidently John London knows something, and he asked Joe if he was forced out. And Joe Nuxhall said, yes, I know I was forced out. I don't know who did it. I think he did add that it was not John Allen. But then again, John Allen, is he not? The only person that could have done this would be, his name would start with an L. But I don't think he would do it. Why would he do it?
I don't know why anybody would do it. That's what we were just talking about.
So you've got an executive sitting there making a decision. And again, I use the term executive loosely because this guy couldn't possibly, from a business standpoint. Okay, look at this from a business standpoint. You've got a man who is almost deified, as close to an athlete in the city can be.
Once you have a statue, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a statue out in front of the stadium. That's it. Good point. He has a statue of Joe Nuxhall. He's doing the broadcast of your game. He can walk down that aisle in that stadium, and people want to touch him. People want to say hello. They want to be around him. He is the most beloved man that I've seen in the city, and I've been here about 25 years almost. And if you ask me, and I'm including Pete Rose as far as loved. Now, Pete is loved by most, hated by some. Joe is hated by no one. Have you ever run into anyone in your entire tenure here that did not like Joe Nuxhall?
I can't picture anybody saying that.
I mean, Willie kids around about it, but believe me, he's crazy about him too.
Uh-huh.
Everybody is. So you've got this person on your broadcast. Why would you not be euphoric? Boy, it's so great to have this guy.
Stick around as long as you want.
And some weenie decides, that's some name calling. And I should think of a better name.
Weenie's
some moronic weenie. No, even better than that. Some pantload. No, even better than that. That's Bilbo Shears. I'll think of something.
Bilbo Shears is a pantload?
No, he calls people pantloads.
He does. That's right.
That's my favorite part of the show.
Heard that.
Are you pantload?
He's probably the second most
I know.
person.
But so you know. So now Joe's saying yes, and they're going to supposedly some manager of the Reds knows some past manager. I guess that would be Bob Boone. I don't know for sure, but that's someone says he knows who did it. And whoever did it, why are you hiding out in a closet somewhere? Why are you not coming out saying, yes, I made that decision? If someone knows or you have to be this man's boss or an associate of this man or this woman who made this decision, why is this not person standing up and abiding by his decision, standing there saying, here is why I did it? If you are so strong in your decision, if you have a reason, if you have a clue, then why are you not standing there telling everyone, tell all of us, why you did this? Why didn't you do it when you did it? Why did you sneak around to do it? I'm sorry, this vitriol is coming out of my voice, but I love this man, and I can't see why someone would do something like this.
Doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I've heard some pretty stupid things in my life, but this may be the stupidest. And this guy's on the phone. Yeah, go ahead. Ed, ask me this question again. What was it, Ed?
Hey, Garrett, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Hey, tell me how you really feel about this situation.
I'm glad you called, Ed. Thank you very much, Ed. Appreciate you calling. Okay, here's how I really feel about it.
All right, hit it.
You hear this coming through with me? I'm mad. This guy was here right now. I may just have to put one in his ear. I still got one good left hook left. Unless he had a good answer. If he had a good answer, okay. But you have to wonder,
what possibly could have
do you have the courage of your convictions? Are you some kind of worm that hides in a hole somewhere, makes a decision affecting a man that we all love and affecting his life, a man who's given his time, his life to this team? You make this decision, and then you hide away somewhere. You are beneath contempt, whoever you are. Unless you stand up and tell us why. Unless you stand there and say, here's why I made this decision. That's okay then.
And even then, it better be good.
And if it's good, that's fine. If it's not good, we can still say you're an idiot. But then again, you have the power. But to not come out and say anything and try to hide behind the decision, that to me is just something that should not be, tolerated in any form or fashion right here. Anyway, we don't know what's going on. We haven't talked to Joe. He's supposed to be on tonight between 10 till 6, and I think a lot is happening at this point. And he may not, by advice of an attorney or whatever, I don't know, want to get on the air right now. Joe, whatever you want to do is fine with us. We'll be sure to take the time up. I mean, I think Andy Furman's going to be on a little bit past 6 o'clock. I'm sure that's going to come up again. In the meantime, we'll take a look at traffic on 700 WLW. And here is Chuck Ingham. Chuck. Hi, this is Gary Burbank, and needless to say that this controversy has arisen with Joe Nuxhall. Joe hasn't located him yet. I think he's probably surrounded by reporters right now, and I doubt if he'd get away. If you haven't heard, Joe is now admitting that someone, yes, did force him out of the Reds broadcast, and I think you've heard me be pretty vehement about my opposition to that. And you may think, why do you care? I guess when it happens to someone that you hold as dear as I do, and I know you do, and everybody around here does, sure, with Joe Nuxhall, you just have to kind of sit back and take it in and think, well, it can happen. It happened to Ernie Harwell in Detroit. I mean, here's a guy the same way, very well loved, and some idiot made a decision, and it sure came back and smacked him in the face a little bit.
An uprising immediately after.
But especially at a time when the Reds are not doing so well. How many times have you heard on this radio station, how many times have you heard people call in and say, the Reds suck. I don't care about listening that much, but I love to turn on Marty and Joe. How many times have you sat out in the backyard on an afternoon or an evening in the summertime, the Reds are doing nothing, they're going nowhere, but still it's a constant companion. And if you think it's the Reds that are your constant companion, you are dead wrong. It's those two guys on the radio that are bringing that picture to life for you. It's those two people that are interesting you in the broadcast. You get a couple of guys, okay, you're the old bottle park, okay, it's a great day for me. You're not going to tune in for that very long. It may be on, but it's on in the background and you don't care. With Joe Nuxhall, you care.
It's been 30 years of the Marty and Joe show.
And and Joe, of course, is not the consummate broadcaster who speaks in round pear-shaped tones. You don't want that. I don't want that. When I hear that man on the radio, I think baseball. That's what I think, baseball. And baseball is a great tradition, and you've got a great tradition doing the game. So again, I say, whoever that person who made that decision was, why can't you come out from behind your closet, wherever, and say why? What's so hard about standing behind your principle? You have a principle, you made the decision, you had a reason, let us know.
Sure.
Or is it something we can't know? Did Joe knock over a liquor store or something?
Well, no.
In that case, give him a week probation.
Well, depending on the circumstances of the robbery.
I have 24 lines coming in. Never seen them all lit up, but I do today. I'll take a couple of calls. Andy's coming on later. I'm sure Andy will have some more information on this for you. Let's see. Mike's held on now for this whole diatribe of mine. Go ahead, Mike. Have you stay for a second here.
Gary, how's your mama doing?
Mama doing fine. Thank you, Mike.
Hey, I just want to say, first of all, love listening to you as I do to Joe, and I've got something to say that I think only bolsters your point, and that is, you take a situation like Chicago. Mm-hmm. You've got, Harry Carey, a well-loved broadcaster, and nobody, as far as I know, forced him out.
That's it. Well, yeah, God did in the end, but God needed somebody up there to do that. Let's put it like that. No, I agree with you. What you're saying makes a whole lot of sense. Think about Harry Carey and the Cubs, and think of how the Cubs played back in those days. The Cubs were terrible. But then again, Harry Carey was a part of this magic machine that somehow made everybody, and he was one of the people in the forefront of that magic machine that made the Cubs work.
Cubs, Harry
Had
Carey.
Fans everywhere, although they didn't finish next to last place like the Reds look now. Yet somehow, you're still a Cub fan. Everybody kind of liked the Cubs. And Joe Nuxhall gave that to the Reds. Did he not, Mike?
He did. And the city of Chicago is better for it, as are we for having Joe Nuxhall. You made a comment about Joe not having the consummate broadcaster's voice.
Yes.
That may be true, but who doesn't recognize Joe Nuxhall's voice? Who doesn't tune in to the Reds broadcast and say, that's the Reds?
You don't want the consummate broadcaster's voice, do you? You don't want that, do you, on a ball game?
Absolutely not.
By the guy doing color, you want a guy like Dizzy Dean, one of the greatest of all time. That's right there, partner.
That's not consummate at all.
I mean, he didn't speak in round pear-shaped tones. He was well loved, but these guys don't. They I guess in executive school, there's no parameters. You're right down the middle. We must all sound just like this, even though it bores the hell out of us. Look at TV today. Look at most of the shows on TV. They come on, they go away because some executive made the decision. Not saying all executives are this way, but the ones that come from those schools, they need to go away. Thank you very much, okay? So if you don't know the news is that Joe's in the middle of some controversy right now because he did come out and say, yes, he knew that he was forced out. Doesn't know who did it. Joe's not the kind of guy to go digging that kind of thing up, and we'll do it for him. And I assume it's going to come out. This person is going to have to stand behind his decision. I guess that person's going to hate doing that because he hasn't stood behind it yet. So, Andy Furman coming up next, and I'm sure this will continue. This is, I was going to say this, but first I'll say goodbye for Duke. Duke, let me say goodbye for you, okay?
Please do.
Goodbye for Duke. Goodbye for Senior Buddy Whiplash. Goodbye for Slim Tempo. And for me, bye. Hey, what was the manager of this station? I'm out of here. Maybe on.
You've been listening to the Nuxhall Report on the home of the Reds, 700 WLW.